Okay, so this is the instruction video for the Portrait1 assignment that you'll find in this folder here. All right, and you're going to submit it using the submit button over here as soon as you're done. So let's go over here to Adobe Draw. I'm going to do this in Adobe Draw, so let's click Adobe Draw. And you could already see a couple of these I did. Now this was real fast. Yours could be like this for a full credit, but if you want extra credit, you could do a little bit more, right? The only requirement to get a point is that it needs to look like you, kind of like you, which means you got to try to get the lines on your face. So I'm going to click the plus here. And we're going to start with the HD screen landscape right here. We're going to use that as our format because this might go into a video someday. You never know, right? So with Spark or something. So let's put it as HD landscape. Okay, good. This is where we start. So the first thing we need to do is take a photo. So I'm going to click the plus here to add a layer. And I'm going to go to image layer instead of a drawing layer. And I'm going to click on take photo, take a photo. So you're going to actually take a photo right from within Adobe Draw. This is pretty cool. All right. Don't worry about the background. Don't worry about really anything except getting the features of your face in the picture because you can make up all the rest. This is graphics. This is imagination. This is creativity. So you can make up the background. You can make up the color of your hair. You can have long hair, short hair, spiked hair, whatever you want, no hair if you want. So you get to kind of decide on that. But it has to, this part has to look like you, okay? And that should be pretty easy since I barely know what you guys look like. I only have little itty bitty pictures of you guys, itty bitty pictures. Okay, anyway, unfortunately, you sure know what I look like. Okay, so I'm going to get my eyes on the upper third line. I'm going to look at the light, stare into the light, and I'm going to use this button to take a picture. So everyone's doing this right now. If you're doing this with me, you're doing this right now, okay? So you can follow along. Also, make sure you're sitting right. You don't want to be like this, right? Because that would be weird when you draw it. So I'm just going to try to get my shoulders. It's because I'm holding my mouse, so I got to just try to get my shoulders right. So I'm going to look and... All right, we don't want that kind of look. I don't want a mean face look. No. So let's try that again. Hit the X to redo, Okay, so let's do it again. Okay, well, that's just me barely looking. I mean, I'm not even smiling. I mean, I'm just looking. So let's try another one where maybe now I'm going to smile. Ah, perfect. There, I'll take that one. Okay, so in other words, oh, but my shoulder's up in the air. My shoulder's up in the air. Let's try that again. Try to get the shoulder down, a normal pose, and okay, we're going to go with this one. All right, or I'm going to go with this one. You're going with yours, whatever one you decided to pick. Okay, hopefully you're all doing this with me right now. Okay, so and if that is good, now the problem is my eyes are not on the upper third line, so let's try that again. Okay. Oh, and I didn't smile. Let's just try that again. Okay, we're going with this one. This is better. Okay. When you're done, you click the check. And I don't want to transform this right now. I don't want to flip it horizontal, vertical, or any of the stuff we can do with it. I'm just going to click the check to get it into the workspace area of Adobe Draw. And there's our brushes, but wait. Where is our layers? The layers are here. So click here and the layers come back. Okay. So you can see we have the background layer, which is totally covered up by the image layer. And then we have a drawing layer on top of that. So click on the drawing layer. We will be turning off the image layer when we're done. Okay. When we're done, we're going to turn off the image layer before we export it so that this photo is not in the drawing. Okay. However, this photo is now in your image folder in your Chromebook. So you do have the picture. So today's a mix of photography and graphics, right? Okay, because I could bring this photo into Lightroom and do stuff with it if I wanted to. All right, so let's Now, take a look. So first I want to start with explaining to you about zooming in. You're going to use your fingers, okay? You're going to use 2 fingers. If I use 1 finger and I try to zoom in, I'm going to get it's going to draw. It's going to think I draw. You guys see that? I just touched my screen on my Chromebook and I drew a line. Did you see that? Did you see that? Okay. So touchscreen works in this application, just so you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 fingers. I'm going to use 2 fingers. I'm going to tap at the same time with both fingers. And if I stretch out, if I do this, it's going to zoom in. If I tap and pinch, bring in, it's going to zoom in. I'm sorry, it's going to zoom out. Sorry, I did that backwards. This zooms in. So click, I tap on with 2 fingers, tap and spread, zooms in, tap and pinch, zooms out, okay? And also 2 fingers will also allow me to move the image around, okay? So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to zoom in. You can see click, I'm tapping, right? And oops, I used 1 finger. Got to use 2 fingers. You got to use 2 fingers. Oh, come on. I'm using 2 fingers to move. Okay. So use 2 fingers to move. Spread the fingers. It zooms in. Pinch the fingers together. It zooms out. Okay. Now I want to zoom into my eyes so that I can see the lines in my eyes better. Don't try to do this without zooming in. It won't come out good. All right. And the key that this is that this is going to look like you. So you have to put even the fewest number of lines could look like you as long as the lines are in the right place. So I'm going to go to my mouse now, and I'm going to go to my brush. I'm going to use the tapered brush for this. I like this one. And I'm going to change the color from teal to black. Is just what I'm doing. You can do this with whatever color you want. Okay, but the size is important. Now this size, watch when I draw, it's bigger than that little dot because we're zoomed in. Okay, so because we're zoomed in, the little line looks a little bit bigger. So I'm going to undo that. That's definitely too big. And I'm going to actually bring this all the way down to like 2, maybe even 1. Okay, 1.5. All right, so. And then I'm just going to start drawing the lines. Now each line will be a click, hold, drag to the end of the line, let go. All right. So let me get started. So I'm going to go here. And then I have this. And then I have a little thing there. I have a little thing there. I have a little thing there. And I have a little thing there. Okay. Same with this side. Click, hold, drag. Oh, that's way off. Undo. Oh, that's way off. And instead of undoing that, I'm going to use the eraser because I don't want to have to undo the whole thing. Then I could just come back in. Okay. And I need this. And I need that. And I need a little bit of that. All right. So all that's missing now on my eyes are my pupils. Okay. So I'm going to switch to the round brush for that. And I'm going to set the color to black. And I'm just going to click and see how big that dot is. I'm going to click right there. Okay. That is about right. That seems, let me see. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to click right about here. And right about there. Okay. So I got my eyes. I'm going through this relatively quick. So you can go back to the training video if you want, or if you see what I'm doing and what I'm focusing on are the main features of the face. Okay. Now the nose. We don't want the nose to be too big. And if you draw too many lines, especially if you try to draw the bridge of your nose, it's going to make your nose look gigantic. Okay, so don't do that. Instead, we need to find kind of where the upper bridge of your nose is. So I'm just going to do a little Oops, wrong pen. Undo that. Get back over to my tapered pen. So let's go right about there. And then you could see something right about like that. Nope. Try to keep it even. Oh my God. I'm having trouble all of a sudden. It's hard to do this with the mouse. I'm used to doing this with a drawing tablet. Okay. Now, the other features of the nose. So we skip in the bridge of the nose, and we're going to look at just like a nostril, the flare of your nostrils. Okay, the flare of your nose. That's too big. And then maybe this little part right here. Keep it simple. Less is more when it comes to this, all right? Otherwise, you're going to have, your features will look too big, and they're not big, so, okay. Bigger than they actually are. Now, I'm going to do the lips next. Just following the line of my upper lip and my lower upper lip. Skip the teeth. Okay, skip the teeth, because if you try to draw the lines where the teeth, separating the teeth, you're going to look like you got these big giant teeth ready to eat somebody. You'd be, right? You're going to look like you're like a crocodile. That does not look right at all. I think I messed this one up. I'm going to do that again. Just leave the area where your teeth are, just leave it just empty. All right, maybe we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom out. Oops. Now I'm going to zoom out more so I can now get. Well, let's look at the progress. Let's see if this thing even looks like me or not. Oh, look, I lost some lines here. All right, so I'm going to have to draw those back in. Oops. See what happens if you try to draw and you're not zoomed in? Oh my God, now it's really looking bad. Okay, let me zoom in again. How did I lose those things? Oh, I know. That's how I lost it. Oop, eraser. Remember, you can change the size of the eraser too if you need to. All right, so let's take a look now and see. I'm going to click on the eye right here, and this will undo it. All right. Well, that's maybe me. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get the rest of the stuff in. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see the bottom and the top edge of the photo. Yeah, we're still good with the size. So let me start getting my face traced. I don't know why I just did that. Oh, come on. It's hard with the mouse. But the mouse is the best drawing tool you have right now. Oh, eraser. Ah, God, come on. And by the way, this program is meant to be traced. It's meant to that you use trace. That's why there is the camera built in. A lot of times when it comes to digital media, and you'll do this when you're in the graphics class at the senior campus, you might first start with pen or with pencils and paper, and then you'll scan it in or take a photo of it and then bring it in to Illustrator or Photoshop or Adobe Draw. Kind of like what we did. We took the picture and that. Imagine if you put something, you put your phone in front of it, right? Take a picture of it, and then you can trace your phone. All right. So tracing's okay. Tracing counts. And let's see. I need to get my neckline. And my shoulders and upper arm. The ruffles. All right, so let's see how that's coming along here. It's getting there. It's getting there. All right. Again, the closer you are with the lines, the better. Now, what about my eyebrows? So if I just want to do a little bit of an outline, that can work. But also, it tends to make the eyebrows look bigger. Also, you can just use brush strokes. So let me undo and see how that would work. So I'm going to go super small now. I'm going to go down to half. And now I'm just going to kind of just put a few lines in here for eyebrows. Okay. You see? Subtle. It's not overpowered. Okay. And you can do the same thing. You can put some of these lines to show the flow of your hair if you want, or you can even use one of the other brushes and just paint your hair. You don't even have to trace the outline of your hair. You could just paint the hair on. Okay, and you don't have to have that outer line on. The border. You don't have to have a border if you don't want to. And then, of course, I might switch up the brushes a little bit here and change to black, but lower my opacity so that I can start throwing some of the shadows of my shirt in. Oh, that's way too big. It's going to look weird. Let's make those a little smaller. So I'm bringing the size down. There we go. Looks like I got a collar here. Okay. So, and then I can play around with the background. I can put myself anywhere I want. I can leave the background completely out. If you just want to say you're done here, right? And you want to, when you're done, whenever you are done, and if you do this, I'll give you a point. But if you do this and then go extra with a background, more detail for my artists that are in this class, you're going to get extra, not just like 0.1 or 0.2. I'll give you a whole extra point. You can get 2 out of 1 on this if you go all out for me, because I know there's some artists here that need to be celebrated with their skill, okay, their artistic skill, because it makes this stuff, all the stuff we do, so wonderful. So there we go. Okay. You decide, does that look like Mr. Jaffe or not? Okay. I just did that in 15 minutes or less. When you're ready to turn it in, you're going to click this guy here, and you're going to go to the 3 dots in the 2 lines, which always means share. And you're going to click Save to Files. And that gives you a chance to change the name of this thing to Portrait1. You don't have to worry about adding the .jpeg back. It will do that for you. Click Save. Okay, just saved it to Files. And now if I want to go and check out my files, and you click on your images folder, you'll see it right up at the top. If you sort date modified descending, that down arrow means descending. So the most recent stuff would be at the top. So you can click here and then submit it. Click the submit button and browse to that spot to turn it in. Okay? So don't go anywhere. Class is not over yet, but I do want to end this training video now because as far as training video goes, we're done. So let me click this.